LA This Week.
Japanese pop and underground art comes alive at a new exhibit at the Jeffrey Deitch Gallery in Hollywood. I'm Gil Reyes with details next.
A groundbreaking new exhibit brings the world of Fijian art to LA. That's coming up. And it's a question for the ages: what to do with your Christmas tree once the holidays are over. Well, the city has some safe and useful tips. That's coming up. Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. Well, now that the holidays are over, how do you get rid of that Christmas tree? Well, recycling is your best bet, and LA Sanitation has some tips.
The city has offered you three very important options to consider when you're recycling your Christmas tree. You could either cut the Christmas tree in half and put it in your green waste bin. You could either leave it curbside for the Department of Sanitation to come pick it up, or you could take it to your local fire station and dump it in one of the large recycle bins that we have for Christmas trees.
We know that many purchase Christmas trees throughout the holiday season, and we want to encourage everyone after the holidays, please recycle your Christmas trees. We have 13 participating fire stations. We can also drop off at 6 participating parks. Also, for seniors or those with any kind of disability, if you can put it on your curbside, our trash haulers can be able to pick that up and dispose of it as well. No need to put it in here, no need to cut it.
For a complete list of locations or more info, visit lacitysand.org. The water quality at our beaches and bay waters will soon be even cleaner and healthier, thanks to a new Greenway project that'll divert and treat urban runoff. City officials gathered to break ground at the new treatment facility in Westwood.
We are standing on the ground of the future Westwood Greenway project, which is a greenway project recycling stormwater through this area and back out to the ocean, cleaner than it was when it came down Overland Avenue.
It is environmentally beneficial for so many reasons. It's going to increase access to nature for folks in park-poor communities who can come to this greenway along the Expo line. So that connects to virtually all of the metro system, buses and rail, which is fantastic. We're going to be putting in native habitat for birds and butterflies. We are going to be putting in a walking path and educational amenities for folks so they can learn about nature. And what's really important for me and for NRDC is that there's going to be stormwater treatment incorporated right into this project. So in terms of a multi-benefit project, I think it's just fantastic.
We absolutely hope that this will be a model combining park space and water cleansing and educational learning for students about environmental practices and a place of refuge for birds and bees and butterflies.
This project is partially funded by the Proposition O Clean Water Bond. If your kid loves music like mine does, then check out a local organization that's helping kids develop their musical skills while providing instruction and mentorship.
We basically teach youth from the ages 6 to 18 their desired instrument. So whether it's drums, keyboard, winds, guitars, our purpose is to make sure that they understand what they're doing and have a passion for it and get them ready for the production world once they get older.
are always a really close-knit family. It's really fun to be here. I enjoy it, me personally. It's really great. I love the people here, new and old. Being out here for a long time, you see, like, the old people grow up and graduate, and then you have new people in. It's fun to, like, teach them, discipline and how to play the drums, and also when we're off drums, joke and act like, that's my little brother, that's my big sister, and it's like a really fun group.
I want to grow up to, like, perform with, like, famous people, like, I would say, like, Beyonce, Cardi B, everybody else. All, like, everybody in the music industry. So, like, I want to work with everybody.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Wow, those kids are pretty good. To find out more, visit childrenofproductionla.org. Well, America has Andy Warhol, and Japan has, well, you're about to see. Pop art may have started out in the UK and in New York City, but its influence stretches all the way to the Far East. Gil Reyes shows us from Tokyo Pop Underground.
This next story just might be for adults only. Provocative Japanese art comes to Hollywood for a program called Tokyo Pop Underground.
It was curated by an amazing gallerist in Tokyo named Shinji Nanzuka. And we're really just exploring contemporary Japanese art.
This exhibit at Jeffrey Deitch Gallery in Hollywood showcases the works of 17 Japanese underground and pop artists from the 1960s to present day. Many of these works are renowned in the international art world, but that was not always the case.
These artists were doing things that were kind of more erotic and out there that weren't fully acceptable. Now people just really love it and take into it, which is really cool.
As Japan struggled to rebuild itself after World War II, a group of daring Japanese artists broke tradition. They started producing anti-authority images filled with sex and violence and heavily influenced by Western pop culture. Keiichi Tanaami was one of those artists.
Growing up, he was always drawing, was heavily influenced by Warhol. He was, making art in the height of the 60s and psychedelics and all of that, and you definitely see those elements in the work.
Artist Toshio Saeki also dabbled in psychedelic imagery.
Artwork for album covers. He did one for Yoko Ono and John Lennon, which was really cool. But definitely he's got a lot of humor in his work, a lot of playfulness, which you see.
In another room, artist Hajime Soriyama unveils his topless, glass-encased female robots. And over here, a more modern work speaks to the underground skating community. Artist Hiroshi made this entirely from skateboards donated by friends and professional skaters.
Kids love it, grandparents love it, everybody can discover something new from this show.
Check out Tokyo Pop Underground. That's at the Jeffrey Deitch Gallery at 925 North Orange Drive in Hollywood.
Well, it's a culture not many of us know much about, but a new exhibit is hoping to give us a glimpse into the people and history of Fiji, with nearly 300 artworks drawn from major international collections.
This is the first substantial project on the art of Fiji mounted in the United States, with over 280 artworks drawn from major international collections.
I'm really glad to see that the canoe is alive now, because in Fiji, the last one that was ever built using this kind of technique without any metals was more than 100 years ago.
We want the world to see the fabulous ancient culture of the Fijian people and their beautiful artistic talent, which is really unknown in America and in most places in the world.
It's organized very simply around essential themes of the exhibition. Starts with voyaging and goes on to 6 other themes: dress, weaving, personal ornamentation, respecting the ancestors, depicting the ancestors, warfare, and then a final section on Fiji life.
We are very fortunate and happy, and we're overwhelmed and excited as well that we are bringing our our history and our heritage to Los Angeles and to California.
So cool. The exhibit runs through July. 2019 was a busy year for elected officials, from approving new laws, grand openings of multiple bridge homes, and housing for those experiencing homelessness to dozens of fun community events. It was a year of great accomplishments. Here's a look back at Council District 13.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay, and I'm with Los Angeles City Council member Mitch O'Farrell, who represents the 13th Council District, which includes Atwater Village in the north to Echo Park and Silver Lake, Hollywood, and down to Wilshire Center, Koreatown. Now, Councilman, you seem to always be out and about in the community.
I am. I'm out in the communities literally every day of the week, and most of the time that is as council member, and we do so many activities on a regular basis, my team and I, including the month-to-month community walks called Council Member in Your Corner. I feel like I'm at my very best when I'm out there conversing with friends and constituents that I represent, and it keeps me grounded, literally. It helps me make sure that I have the perspective of people who live and work in our communities in mind when I introduce policy.
Absolutely, and Channel 35 was there with you along the way. Why don't we take a look?
We'll have a safe space to land for a while so they can re-emerge as a functioning member of society.
People want to stand for right. They don't want to stand for wrong.
And that process began with a motion that I introduced of eliminating Columbus Day and taking a look at a way to honor Indigenous people. It gives this accurate sense that government cares enough to make sure that our neighborhoods look better. Our parks help build a foundation for young people for a successful future in life. We're going to have ribbon cuttings like every week, and that means we'll be housing thousands of people that did not have a roof over their head. I haven't used straws in a couple of years for anything. We've become accustomed and conditioned that plastic is necessary in our lives, single-use plastic, and it's not. It's a way for me to give back and let the senior community know how much I care. I think it comes from a strong upbringing and valuing seniors when I was very young. When children feel good, they do better in school. We just dedicated 54 units of low-income, affordable housing. With this designation, Hollyhock House enters into the lexicon of cultural designations that include the Taj Mahal, the Forbidden City in Beijing, the Venice Canals, and many more cultural treasures known the world over as UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
Now, what's coming up for 2020?
Well, a lot of exciting things. We have 3 bridges currently under construction at the Los Angeles River in the 13th District, and a 4th will begin next year. We have lots more plans for permanent supportive housing and affordable housing for people who are close to being homeless or experiencing homelessness. We have a master plan underway in Hollywood, and then we have a Silver Lake master plan to reimagine the reservoir as more of a public entity accessible to constituents who live in the area. So lots of exciting things in store for 2020.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you do want to stay up to date on the latest in the 13th District, sign up for their weekly e-newsletter at cd13.com.
Lots of work was done in Council District 5 as prominent figures and institutions were honored and climate change was at the forefront.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. I'm with Councilmember Paul Koretz, who represents Council District 5, which includes Encino in the Valley and the West Side. Now, Councilmember, you've been very active on several issues throughout the year, including homelessness, climate change, and a fair work week.
These are all issues that I've put a lot of time in, especially homelessness. My focus has been on keeping people from becoming homeless, because a couple of years ago, we dropped chronic homelessness in a year by 20%, but overall it only reduced by 4%. And the following year it went up by 16%. So clearly, if we just address the people that are homeless, we'll wind up with tens of thousands of more people. With the Fair Work Week, we recognize that there are a lot of folks that have temporary jobs in retail and other areas where their hours change with very little notice. So this will make a huge difference to the lives of thousands of people.
Yeah, and then I know you're very active in climate change. That's a big issue for you.
Well, climate change I've been working on for decades, but certainly since I got to the LA City Council, it's been one of my primary areas of focus. We need for Los Angeles, one of the most watched cities in the world, to set an example that others will follow across the country and across the world.
Right, and Channel 35 was there with you when you were doing all these outside activities and events, and let's take a look.
Councilmember Paul Koretz was honored for his 30-plus years of forward-thinking environmental policy and action.
I really appreciate this. This means a lot to me. No matter how expensive or how humble your home, it looks about the same when it's been burned to the ground. This is because of our growing climate emergency. We want plant-based options at every public venue. Today is one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences, and I have to admit, I'm absolutely giddy to introduce my colleagues to one of my lifelong heroes.
Let me greet you. Let me bring the voice of the chimpanzee into this space, I believe, for the very first time, and greet you. Me, Jane.
We absolutely hope that this will be a model combining park space and water cleansing and educational learning for students about environmental practices.
Councilmember Paul Koretz is promoting safe and responsible riding, reminding riders that it's illegal to ride on sidewalks.
The city is starting to enforce that regulation.
But it wasn't all serious policy issues, right?
Well, we got to celebrate some of our ethnic cultures, and we also had a lot of fun.
Happy New Year.
It's really remarkable that we get to recognize Musso and Frank's today on the 100th anniversary, where people like Orson Welles and Charlie Chaplin and others used to dine. Since 1974, the Groundlings Theater and School has been the foremost comedy training ground in Hollywood. And I guess it's ironic that I'm doing this because I have no sense of humor. But my pleasure to be here this morning to celebrate UCLA's centennial anniversary. UCLA's contributions have gone far beyond the city of LA, but have reached around the world.
Councilmember, what do we have coming up in 2020?
Well, I look forward to working with our residents and our community groups. And if you want to keep in touch, look for our newsletter sign up on our website.
Since becoming councilwoman in 2017, representing the 7th Council District, Monica Rodriguez has been a champion for her community and constituents.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles City Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, and it's been another eventful year here in the 7th District. I am proud to serve as your City Councilwoman, and bringing in cultural events and fighting for an increased share of city services, cutting the red tape to deliver for our community. 2019 was also a historic year, approving a $10.5 billion budget, the largest in the city's history, and securing $26 million worth of investments for the 7th District. I will continue to fight to assure that our community achieves its greatest potential. Let's take a look back at 2019.
It really is a unique opportunity for me to bring together all of the seniors from around my district. When I see kids from our community demonstrating potential, I know that we haven't lost, we are gaining ground, and it makes me very proud that we are able to provide places like this in the city of Los Angeles for our kids to be successful. It's a really great opportunity to teach the kids some new skills, patience.
We are creating the first of its kind, one-stop shop housing navigation center for families in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. We are improving public safety for the residents of the Northeast San Fernando Valley and Greater Los Angeles region.
We are finally delivering a sidewalk adjacent to one of our most prestigious grammar schools in the area. Well, I think there's no better way to celebrate the contributions of the Latino community than to do one of our most celebrated foods, and that's tacos. We have the most beautiful city because of our diversity, and celebrating the contributions of the Armenian community here in Tujunga is emblematic of that. Public art is transformative in a city where culture is everything. It helps to really reimagine what our community is, and it's really telling a story about who we are. You don't want to miss our events in CD7. No one does it the way we do.
Thank you, Channel 35, for a great recap of 2019. I look forward to building more wonderful memories together in 2020.
Maintaining the rich cultural heritage of the new 9th is a priority for Councilmember Curran Price, along with making sure residents get the legal, housing, and other services they need.
We're here with our media partners at Channel 35. Councilmember, can you believe we're back here again?
I know, it's been a year of lots of achievement and fun. And it's great to be back here telling our story with our friends here at Channel 35.
Now, I have a lot of memorable moments, but what were some of your highlights of the year?
Well, you know, I really enjoyed our senior luncheon when we recognized and celebrated with over 1,000 seniors. Also, the 4th of July was a tremendous celebration at Expo Park for families and kids. There was food, there was music, and people just had a great time within a spectacular fireworks show. And then, of course, our Winter Wonderland, where we're able to provide toys and resources for hundreds of kids in the district. So let's take a look at some of our most memorable moments during the year.
I'm just so happy to be here. Welcome to the new 9th, and welcome to your celebration. It brings people together, helps us to reaffirm our commitment to living the goals and ideals of Dr. King. It's going to be an exciting facility that will take some of our homeless neighbors off the streets, providing them with some temporary shelter in a safe and secure location. We're just asking for a little more sensitivity on behalf of the employer, making the lives of the employees easier.
It's really hard for my parents to kind of scrounge up money for me to get stuff, so I really much appreciate, them doing this for the community.
It's our way of saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now we feel needed and wanted and loved.
I'm elated to say that on this day we officially launched the Community Safety Partnership Program.
Let's give a big round of applause for South Park 2.0.
We're here at the 24th Annual Central Avenue Jazz Festival. This is an opportunity for us to celebrate the history and legacy of Central Avenue. Many would say this is where West Coast jazz really originated. A lot of the workers who worked on this project live within 5 miles of this project, and that's significant.
I'm real grateful for Councilman Price remembering the citizens.
Now we have opportunities to do whatever we want to do.
If you see some trash, what are you going to do? You're going to report it. The school that records the most number of 311 service requests is going to be the winner of the month. We've got snow for the kids, toys. We're going to be raffling off bicycles. What an incredible year.
What is your vision for the new 9th?
One, we certainly want to make sure there's more housing available. Jobs are also very important in our community. And so I want to make sure that certainly in any projects that are involved in our district, we have local hire requirements that give an advantage to those who live nearby to get a job. In addition, we want to make sure that we're working closely with our immigrant communities. And I'm confident that working together, we can be successful.
Well, 2019 was a great year, but 2020 will be even better. If you want to get involved, contact us.
And we look forward to covering even more stories in the new year. Are you into photography? We'll start the new year off by signing up for a wildlife photography meetup, or listen to classical music in a candlelit setting, and do your part to help those less fortunate by donating fresh produce at a farmer's market. All this and things to do. The Los Angeles Photography Group presents a wildlife meetup. If you like a hands-on approach to wildlife photography, this is the meetup for you. Hone your skills with peers and pros at the Wildlife Photography Meetup, happening Saturday, January 11th at 9 a.m. For more info, visit losangelesphotographygroup.com. Warm up this winter season with a stunning classical music performance at Free City LA. Bring your loved ones along for a cozy concert experience. Candlelight Classical Romanticism, come to Free City LA on Friday, January 10th. For more info, visit feverup.com. On Sunday, January 12th, Food Forward's produce donation station is popping up at the Atwater Village Farmers Market. Market goers are invited to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables from vendors or drop off homegrown bounties. For more info, visit foodforward.org. And that's a look at some things to do. That's it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitv.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more of LA This Week.